Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I wanted to come on and talk about two things really quickly. Firstly, we've got probably the best ever guaranteed shard event I have seen going on right now, which has dropped out of nowhere. I wanted to make sure people are aware of it. Secondly, I'm going to talk about a 1 in 10 million chance for something to happen, and it happened yesterday in Raid Shadow Legends. And honestly, everyone thought it was a fake, but it's real. So I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. Let's start with probably the best shadow entry of a shard event that they're ever going to do. If you can get involved in this and you do not own this champion, you should get involved in this. I don't know why they give us all of this news about stuff which honestly is just kind of like blah. And then when they actually drop something which is interesting and super cool for the community, they just drop it in. They don't tell anyone. It's not like, oh, we'll give you a bit of pre-warning. They drop it in. So crazy to me. Anyway, Seer is available right now for 1 day by the looks of this. So basically starting today, ends tomorrow. You can get your hands on a Seer today if you drop 40 Void Shards. And I know what you're going to say. HH, who the hell's got 40 Void Shards? In fairness, a lot of people do. A lot of people save up shards for these guaranteed events. And this is one of the best ones that we're ever going to get. Okay, she is absolutely an end game champion. She's better than all of the mythical champions that have just dropped. She's better than 95% of legendary champions. Okay, so irrelevant of what her color is, let's not be that type of person. She gets into pretty much like crazy teams. I'm trying to think what team she's actually in right now for me. She's in like my hard Ice Golem team. I think she's no longer in my hard Dragon team, but I've had her in hard Dragon teams. I've had her in hard Spider teams. I've had her in like proper late game Fire Knight stuff. And, you know, she's in all of my speed farm teams for keeps or whatever. But she's also like the craziest champion to just unlock fighting high level Doom Tower. Especially if you've got reset champions. You know, she's just nuts. And yeah, she's absolutely worth picking up. If you're earlier game, chances are you haven't got 40 Void Shards, so you'd either be a spender or you don't get her. But if you're earlier game, she can also be in arena teams. Like, she is just crazy. Like, she's a crazy champion. My one, actually, I'll show you my one with the build. So my one, I managed to get up to 6-star blessing, and that's through buying it out of the shop. This is one of the champions where it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to try and get lucky. I saved my dust to buy the upgrades for Seer because she's just like so powerful with these upgrades. If you can get a 6-star crushing rend, and I know this is very late game stuff I'm talking about here, but if you could get this, then it's insane what she's able to do. Yeah, I'll show you my build, and she's got some of my great gear on. So, you know, we've got crit damage on the gloves, accuracy on the chest. That's really for kind of later game stuff. But honestly, you're just looking to stay alive for most people. Speed on the boots, because I want her to be able to go fast enough to do high Doom Tower stuff. Again, this is like fast. The build is fast compared to what most people would need. But the main thing is 100% crit rate, high crit damage, and then if you're going to rip buffs off of enemies, high accuracy. But if you're not, you don't even need any accuracy. Yeah, if you're planning on ripping buffs off enemies, high accuracy. If you're not planning on that, you could literally run 0 accuracy if you're just ripping buffs off your own team. And let me kind of just talk through the skills. A1 just got a chance of getting an extra turn. It's kind of hard, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. A2 applies crit rate buff to your team and weaken to the enemy. Again, honestly, it's not even a great skill. There's not many champions in the game that are guaranteed to apply an AoE weaken. Certainly not as epic. So it is kind of cool, but you don't really use her for that. Also, bear in mind, if she puts crit rate on herself or someone else puts crit rate on her, she rips the buffs off before she does her damage, which means that you can't ever run her with 70% crit rate because there's a crit rate buff. She will get lots of non-crits and then she will not kill stuff. But yeah, it's all about this skill here. It's an enemy max HP skill. So the further you are through the game, the more effective this is. But also, it's a removes all buffs from allies and enemies. Okay, so the more buffs you've got on your team, the more damage she will do. That's the fact. So you basically want to run her with a champion in either, basically in shield set. So it gives you one buff to start. You want to run her with champions that do multiple buffs. And then she will just do more and more damage depending on those buffs, multiplied by her crit damage multiplier. You do gain from having things like decreased defense on the enemy. Yeah, so there is still a defense kind of mitigation going on here. So an AoE drop defense. Also, we can boost her damage as well. Other than that, it's just about how many buffs you can put on there. If you get her earlier game and you're not killing everyone with this, then she's got a good chance to sleep all the enemy as well, which means that you get back round to her abilities quick. But I'll show you just quickly on waves what this does. Let's go into the Ice Golem. So my team here, I don't even have that many buffs because I've got the 6-star Crushing Rend. I've got buffs from, so I've got shield set initially, buffs from my Eva. We go on to round 2, we reset, basically go again. You notice that I didn't even like buff with my Eva first, and then we're straight into the boss on the hardest stage in like 17 seconds. And that's purely because of Seer. At this point, I'm then hoping that everyone basically dies pretty quick, and I'm just left with Theodore and Artak doing all the work. And you can see, I mean, it's pretty quick, like for the hardest level of Ice Golem. And Ice Golem is very worth farming now. You know, the gear sets in Ice Golem, Curse gear, I need it. Retaliation gear, I want it. Like there's gear sets in here now which are really good. Reflex gear, really good as well. So you can see it's pretty good for turn count. I haven't tuned it perfectly, but it is damn good. And the same type of thing really for high level Doom Tower waves. She just nukes the waves down. So she is absolutely worth it if you can get those shards together. Yeah, and it's not a sales pitch. I don't care if Raid make money or not. It's just about this is one of the best events you're going to see. Now let's talk about something which I thought was a fake, but turns out it's totally true. This is a 1 in, might even be a 1 in 12 million chance. It's definitely a 1 in 10 million at least. This happened yesterday to an end game Kraken, or certainly a juicy whale, called Tenpool on Primal Shards. It feels like to me it's a bug. That's how obscene it is to get this to happen. 3 mythicals back to back during the CVC yesterday. Look how many points he got for Clan v Clan for this Tenpool. 181,000 points for a Tenpool with these primals because he nabbed new champions but new mythicals. It's absolutely insane. I'm not saying that suddenly his account's going to be crazy, by the way, because I don't think these champions do that much. But the luck factor here is unreal if it's luck. It feels so unreal that it's got to be a bug to me. Because to nab 3 back-to-back is unheard of in anything. Like, even if it was, you know, legendaries in an ancient shard pool. I guess it would actually be the same odds, would it? It'd actually be the same odds, to be fair. But, yeah, there you go. 3 back-to-back mythicals yesterday. That was for Sephiroth of, I think he's in Tau. I think. But he might have moved, actually. He might be ET now. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure what they name themselves nowadays. But you can see it there on his account. It's real. And, yeah, absolutely crazy stuff. So, there you go. That's basically a lottery win in the real world, isn't it? That's basically the lottery win right there. But there you go, guys. Look, not going to waste any more of your time. I've been Hell Hades. Get Seer if you can. If not, then what are you going to do? See you later.